Hey guys, what is happening? Long time no vid, but it's Friday, August 15th, and we got a little fill-in job here for today for a buddy of mine, and I'll show you what we got. We got a GMC, I guess it'd be the latest body style, 08 and up, tailgate here for a half ton, and this one was bought already with the latch out and everything. He had a little incident with his other tailgate, so the only thing I had to do was peel the emblems off of it, which was kind of down and dirty, quick and easy. Use the eraser wheel, which you guys have seen me do that before. So I did that real quick, and I figured I'd bring you guys along here. We're going to get this thing wiped down with some wax and grease remover so I can prep it up for paint. I do have a little body work to do to it, and I think the camera will probably find that right in front of my finger. You can see that little dent right there. But other than that, there's some scratches in it, and I will probably block over this with along the longest block that I have, just to check that. I'm thinking that's the only one. So the inside gets a bed liner cover on it, so we'll shoot it body color, which is black in this case, straight GM black 8555, which there's about 10 variants for, but it's a tailgate and it's a butt match anyway, but you got the tail lights to distract you from that, so we're not going to worry about color match on that so much. We'll see how it looks after I do it, because I do have other body work on the truck, so we may have to play the mixology game and get the right color on that. But at any rate, I'll get you guys on the stand here. We'll go find the stand. Sorry about the background noise, I got the fan running, and actually we're only running about 65 in here today, and we're at about 65% humidity. I have the fan going because it was real damp in here the past couple weeks. Humidity has been sky high, you know, wrapped up over 90%. So I'm trying to suck some of that drier air through here and dry this place out before I have to do any paint work. Other than that, finally getting caught up at work, so figured it was time I made a video for you guys. Everybody's been leaving me messages saying what's going on, and that's kind of what's been going on. Been busy, been boating every weekend, so no side work for me. So stand by here, we'll get you on the stand. Now we'll get some wax and grease remover and some towels and get on this. So yeah, I hope everybody's been having a good summer. Getting a lot of stuff done. Haven't had a chance to stay up on the bids, but you know, I see a lot of people are making some progress on their old projects. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to figure out what I did with my wax and grease remover. I'll shut you off here for a second. We'll start you up as soon as I find that. It might take a minute. Okay, I figured it out. It was right under my nose. So I just want to make sure we get any surface contaminants off of this before I start to prep it up. What I'm going to do is hit this with some 320 and go from there. All in all, tailgate's in pretty good shape. I think he gave a couple $100 for it, which it's an OEM tailgate as far as I know. I didn't really bother to look, but I'm pretty sure it was. I think it was a takeoff. It's got some stone chips and things like that on the edges of it. And it's not really stone chips, it's probably just chips from use, you know, that sort of thing. Let's see what else is going on. Boat's been running pretty good. Temperatures haven't been all that warm, and Lake Erie was up to about 78 in the area I boat in the South Shore of Lake Erie near the islands. But this cooler weather we've been having, it's been in the 50s, low 50s at night. It's just sucked the temperature right down. I think it was 72 last weekend. You know, here we are August, and I know a lot of you guys are probably experiencing similar cooler temperatures, which I don't mind for working outside, but it's been cool, but the humidity's been up, so it's almost felt cold. Which I don't like that much. Cool is okay, cold is not good for business, because anytime it rains, it takes like a week for everything to dry out as far as doing any kind of site work in the dirt, excavating type stuff. It's just made it a real challenge this year. So alright, we got that side done, and I'll show you how I'm going to prep up this front side, and then the back side will be the same way. Just a quick buzz with some 320. Which I say quick now, but it'll probably take like 10 minutes to do this, so. I'm going to use the Dynagrade 6-inch here. That piece wasn't cutting it. For some reason, that's sounding like somebody's single stage's tailgate. And that's awfully white for clear coat. So maybe it is an aftermarket. I don't know. I don't see any evidence that it's been repaired anywhere, so I don't know. That's enough of that soft pad. That's too soft. It's not letting me sew it. I'm trying to sand the disaster orange peel out of it too. kind of what we got here for prep. I got to do a little bit more work to it. I still got to get in these areas with the Scotch pad, but I'm going to go ahead and rough this up with some 80 grit on a block and try and get that out. I mean, it's so minor. There's no point in trying to pull it. I mean, it's within it probably a 1/16 of an inch. So I'll put some 80 on a block and scuff that, or maybe even 180, and just wipe that with some putty. I just got the little Durablock here with some 180 on it, and that dent is right here, so what I'm going to do is just cross sanding over that to reveal what I got, and really there isn't much anything there, so we're going to put a tight wipe on that little booger there. And I think that's probably, I don't see anything else wrong with this tailgate. Yeah, for sanding with 180, that's single stage white that's on this tailgate. Which, you know, what I don't have a problem with that. It isn't going to hurt anything. If that was clear, it would have been through a long time ago. So, what the hey, I'll take you guys into the paint room here. We'll mix up a little schmeg. I got the old Evercoat metal glaze here. I like that kind. This hardener's been sitting for a long time, probably since March or April. I take that back. I think I did that Buick back in May, so it's been sitting for a couple months here. We'll knead it up real good. And see what our putty looks like here. Should be all good to go. Oh yeah, got a little funk in the top of it here. Where it dried up a little. It's probably more than adequate. Put a little hardener in the garbage can here. Give that a mix them up job here. I saw a video this morning Greg Porter put up for adjusting pressure switches on air compressors, and that's a good one. I don't remember what kind of pressure switch that was, but a lot of them are different. mine has a square D switch on it, and I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but the unloader side of it for the cut-in pressure is sort of factory set on those. You can adjust the high cut-off pressure, but I actually had to monkey with mine a little bit. It reminded me I had mine cutting in too low at like 120, and that's supposed to be a 145, 175 pressure switch. So alright, that's that. I will bring you guys back when it's time to knock that down so we don't end up with a huge video. And we'll catch you in a bit. Alright, while we're waiting for that mud to dry, or while I'm waiting for it, because I don't have a mouse in my pocket, go over a few things that we're going to use here on this project. The first one being, after we get that filler blocked out there, that glazing putty that got applied just a moment ago, we're going to use the Matrix Lightning Primer Surfacer here, MP42K. I was having some issues with that over the winter with ringing and things like that, but the last time I used it I had zero problems, so I'm thinking we had a through drying problem with it due to temperature. I think this particular product is extra sensitive to cooler temperatures, even though it's kind of got its own little accelerator built into it. I don't know why I had problems with it. That's the only thing I can explain. Either that or a incompatible substrate. Next of all, we're going to give this guy a try here. We got the Auto Glass AG40 Clear, the Matrix. I've never shot this before. I picked this up a couple weeks ago. I had my jobber order it in for me because they weren't stocking it, and nobody else is asking for it. Everybody else is using speed clears. You know, I like the MS-30, which is fine for small little jobs, but you know, it'd be fine for that tailgate too with a medium hardener in it or something like that. But I just want to give that a shot over there. So I mean, we've got that in the cabinet if we wanted to go with it. But a lot of guys are using, I mean, I wouldn't call that cheap clear, but that's, you know, $100 to $120 kit clear. I don't think I have anything else in here clear wise. I'm trying to switch over to exclusively Matrix stuff because I've had such good luck with it, color match and so on and so forth. I picked up this guy here, the new MP200 direct to metal primer. Now, just like anything, you know, I'd rather go with an etch first, but this was a promotional. You see it says not for resale, so my jobber gave me that to try. I'm not going to try it on this because the feedback I've heard is it's not the most fun thing to sand. So it must be some type of epoxy or have some sort of goofy adhesion promoter in it to make it adhere to the steel better. So I'm going to hold off on that and use it on a test before I go putting it on something like that tailgate. And besides, I don't have any real bare metal on it. Picked up some 127 dark gray sealer. I had the 124, which is the light. What else did I pick up? I'm trying to remember. When I go shopping, I usually do it up. I bought some... Oh, that's not it. What the hell did I do with it? There it is. So there's our base. That's 9730 is the code for Matrix. Wow, I can't stop shaking. I shouldn't have had 3 cups of coffee this morning. But that's going to be our color right there. We're going to seal the tailgate with the 127 first because that's the dark sealer. And I think that's about all I picked up. Just a bunch of odds and ends. Like $500 worth of odds and ends, but that's about it. So I figured I'd give you guys a quickie on that. Oh, I also saw another, I forget the guy's channel name, but showing how to put a drill on top of your mixing lid there. You guys know I don't have a mixing bank, but I like having those quick pour lids. I just chuck a cordless drill and spin the shaft real slow for, you know, a couple minutes. Usually put a zip tie over the trigger on the drill and lean it up so it doesn't spin, like, you know, stick it over here in the corner and chuck the drill onto that and put the butt of the drill against that so it can't spin around, and just let it go and walk away. And that'll get you all mixed up. A lot of times also what I'll do is I'll remove that lid and I'll take a paint paddle and I'll scrape the bottom, because even though those have paddles inside, they don't scrape the bottom real well. It'll get it right in the middle, but it won't get it in the very center, and it won't get it on the outside edge of the can. And when it's been sitting for a while, like this can has a couple months, I need to make sure that it's stirred up nice. So without further ado, we'll wait for that to kick off, and we'll get that blocked out, and I'll bring you back for the next step. See ya. Alright, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this, but we'll get you as close as we can. My tripod's not quite tall enough. That's all the way up. But it's kind of hard to see this. I knocked it down with some 80 on the DA real quick, just to make sure it was ready. And I've got, not a hard block, but this is that motor guard double-sided. The gray is the real soft. And then the black in there is the little bit more firm. But I want to finish this up with 180, and then I'll buzz over the whole thing with 320 and get it finished up. Doesn't take much to knock that putty down when it's fully cured. And I did, with the DA, with that 80 grit, I call that knocking the bullshit off of it, because what happens is the amines in the hardener all come to the top, and it gets just a little sticky. You know, most of them say tack free, but you still have to kind of hit them with something a little more coarse, because if you just started with 180, you'd gum that up. A lot of times, not every time. I definitely know this is single stage white because I haven't broke through it yet anywhere. I don't even see a halo where a clear coat would be broke through, so that's definitely, that's the old single stage for sure. And to verify, I said I didn't know if this was a GM factory part, and it certainly is. There's the GM stamp right in the bottom of that tailgate. So this is a factory GM gate. So I know in the past, with the whites, GM, for sure, because I've always run GMs, have single staged a lot of the white vehicles. It seems like single stage to me. I can't believe I haven't cut through it yet. And just for shits and giggles, I don't feel anything funky about that spot anymore, but I'll give that a little schmeg of guide coat over it. Which, that is not cheap black spray paint, that's actual guide coat. I don't know why I've never just gotten some lacquer-based spray paint and called it happy, but one reason I'm using this soft block is it cuts a little quicker, and this tailgate has got a contour to it. It sort of crowns across here. So I want to let that follow that contour a little bit. get rid of this over wipe here. With some 180. And that's pretty much what it's going to be right there. I say. One thing you'll notice when you're sanding close to an edge like this, I don't know if you guys can even see that. Yeah, you can see where I'm pointing to. But we'll shake you up a little bit here. When you are sanding close to an edge like this, where this is stamped, there'll be a little bit of a roll in here. So it'll almost seem like you've got a low spot along there, but that is not the case. Same thing with these edges out here, along the edge of the tailgate. You can see a line right there. I mean, that could be the start of a run, but most likely it's just the way the tailgate is, and when you try blocking straight against it, and this thing isn't going to SEMA, so we don't need to worry about that. I'm just going to buzz this thing down, feather out some of this stuff like that. Actually, that might be guide coat there, but stuff like that. And I'm not even going to worry about this being perfect. I just want to get it primed because it's going to be behind the tailgate protector strip. So we'll just go over this some more with some 320, which I'm not going to bore you guys. You already watched me do that, but I will finish this out in 320, go over it some more to get rid of the 180 scratches, and hopefully I don't have any Renegade 80 scratches out in there that I missed. That was the other reason I squirted the guide coat, because the guide coat will stick in those 80 grit scratches till I get them out. So I'll take the Dynabraid with some 320 and I'll buzz this whole thing down, get it prepped up, and then I'll bring you back when I'm getting ready to prime. And basically I'm only going to prime this side of the tailgate, and I'll probably spot prime all this stuff, you know, wherever there's a screwed up spot. Obviously I'm going to spot prime this, but there were no deep scratches. I will back mask this edge right here so that I can prime this 2 coats, maybe 3 along that edge, and then we'll just knock the edge of that down with some 320 or 400 when I get done with it, so that there's no hard line out there, which there shouldn't be. I'm going to try and prime it facing this way as much as I can, or down, so that I don't get a bunch of primer out there, but that'll block off real quick. So this video is going to be a little bit of a marathon here, so we'll talk to you after a bit. We'll cut